Hi everyone who like wine or plan to like it. Today I want to tell you why the interview that you can see next with Sabina, the owner of Wingat Ritter in Austria, might be interesting for you. So starting with the place where we move, the Weinhof Ritter located is in Carinthia, which is not really popular region for wines because it's more mountains for skiing, for production of schnapps. It's famous. And those who know and interested in Austrian wines, usually they know Burgenland or Styria, those regions, or Wachau Valley, and best Grüner Veltliner is there, and some other white types and red as well. But why not to ignore this part? First of all, if you travel like me from Bratislava or Vienna, Budapest maybe as well, you see this is very good path on the way to Italy. Like from Bratislava, it's about 4 hours. And then you have Slovenia and Italy on your way. So for those who want to make a pause, having lunch, try some wines, or even spend night there, it's very great place to visit. I can share with you those stunning pictures of the Weingut and valley mountains here, but you can find it yourself. Then the idea of those podcasts was initially that we opened some small winemakers, not that much promoted, to the audience, and you yourself will try something that might be very popular very soon. Believe me, I tried those wines few times and stopped there and took few boxes with me. It's always have very solid standard of the fruits, minerality, which is very important for Sabina. So in the next interview, you will know more about the wine gut, about the wines produced there, and maybe open for yourself new place to visit.
Hi, Sabina.
Hi.
Hi. I want to say that, I come back to you, I think, twice to your beautiful vineyard to try your great wines. And I think you're one of those that we call unique hidden wine gem, because very interesting that you made your wine business in Carinthia, the region famous more for skiing, Great Lakes, and schnapps probably, but not for the wines. So
not yet.
but already start to be, at least for myself. So want to ask you how you start the winemaking business. What pushed you to do that?
Well, I really don't know myself neither, because I'm a trained mechanical engineer. So, and I've been working in this business for 20 years. And during or along this path, I just noticed that I missed working with nature and in the nature. So I've had a lot of hobbies, but all was outside. And I also loved wine. I enjoyed wine drinking, but I also enjoyed the landscape of typical wine growing areas. And as my grandmother told me that the area where I originally come from in Carinthia is a historical wine growing area, I thought that might be an idea just to try as a hobby to produce my own wine. That's how it started. So it was never intended to be a full-time job, but more or less a compensation to my office-based work. But as it is sometimes in life, there have been some influences and miracles and whatever. And now I'm a full-time winemaker in Carinthia, which is, very rare. But in general, so Carinthia is the oldest wine growing area in Austria. It started already in the 8th century. So in the valley you have visited us, wine growing is already mentioned in 888. but it had its peak in the 17th century, and it finally stopped at the beginning of the 20th century. So there was no winemaking at all anymore. And we had to now start it a second time. And that's the reason why nobody knows Corinthian wine, because there was simply a break. And now a few guys, crazy guys, mostly of them, starts to grow wine in this historical area again.
Great to hear. By the way, what I hear from you, you mentioned like coincidence or miracles that might also influence your decision to go out of your kind of comfort zone, that you're corporate lady, right? The engineer working on the company, to change completely. You can mention some of those, like what was it?
Yeah, I mean, I heard everywhere and every time it's just a stupid and absolutely crazy idea, because if you start a wine making company, even if it's only a small one, the investments are really big, and it takes 6 years for a minimum till you have the first wine. So it's a lot of work and effort and investment, and you don't know what will be the result at the end. Luckily, it was wine and not vinegar. So I haven't been sure till this year, where I had the first bottle of my own wine in my hands. That I think it was also a lot of luck involved. Yeah, but it is crazy, because you give up a job, you earn good money. I think I was good at it and I liked it. To do something completely different with no idea if you ever will earn any money, and what quality of wine you're going to produce. And also, I have to be honest, I'm not a trained winemaker, so I have no education. So I know that I don't know a lot about winemaking, and I learn every year. It's kind of sometimes trial and error and learning by doing. But I'm lucky that I have a friend who is helping me a lot, who is a trained winemaker. But it's a big area of knowledge, and also things coming together. So it's not clear if you start such a project, if it will work or not. And that's the crazy point. Everybody told me before.
It's very brave what you did, and I think, as knowing you a little bit already, you're the person probably, whatever you start to do, you have this stamina and the big learning curve that you can achieve, that you may be successful in everything, but somehow you see the purpose, as I can see in the wine, and that's why probably it's also kind of luck going with you. So I think luck is something that exists, but can't exist without hard work, as I can see.
Absolutely not. And also, you have to have a passion for it. A friend of mine told me once that you will never do anything better than those things you really love to do. And therefore, you need a lot of work, of passion, and also luck that it works out.
So true. I want to propose maybe we show some of your wines, or all. Let's see how it goes, and you tell us a little bit more about those and some uniquenesses. While I'm sharing the screen, what I catch already, like trying your wines not one time, and I think different harvests. What I think fits me well, that you are very focused, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you're very focused on minerality. And I think it's a big discussion, because one of the wine guys that I meet recently, he said, minerality not exist. There is no such kind of taste. You need to substitute it with some. But so I think it's kind of debate. But for me, minerality and this kind of small acidity in the white wines I tested in your cellar was really great and unique, and deserve everyone who loves wine to try. So what I sharing your website, whatever you want to start with.
Yeah, it definitely. In general, at the moment, I produce 11 different wines, and the majority of the wines are single vineyard wines. So therefore, if if you look up in our shop, you will see a lot of different Chardonnays. So there are 4 at least each year, 4 different Chardonnays. One is the old one, and the other 3, what you see now on the screen, you see there the Chardonnay, the Josefsberg, then the Ried Weinberg, and the Ried Steinbruch. Those are the 3 Chardonnays from the vintage 2022 from each vineyard. And that's one thing I really love as a winemaker, is to show the taste of the area where the wine is really grown. So we have 3 vineyards, and every vineyard has an own soil. It's totally different. And even if I do everything exactly the same in the cellar, it means the taste comes from the age of the grapes for sure, but also from the soil. And we have total different soils. Even in our case, the altitude of the vineyards are the same. So we are in all 3 vineyards, by coincidence, 450 meters above sea level. They are all in the same valley, and the vinification is done also the same. But during tastings, I also get always a feedback that people really experience the difference of the wine. So it's all Chardonnay, but it's not the same at all. And that makes it interesting for me.
I can confirm by trying different types of Chardonnay, right?
And another project what I'd like to mention is the one now on the top left side. It's the Brut. It's a sparkling wine I produced together with a friend of mine. We had the idea during some wine tasting, of course, that we both like sparkling wine as a company for food. And she said, let's do some sparkling wine together because it's a shared risk. So we didn't know if the customer would like this wine. It's not very common in our area here. And we said, okay, let's try it. She gave us some grapes from her vineyard and I'm from mine. We put it together, kind of make a cuvée out of it. And then start the second fermentation in the bottle. So it's the production method is the traditional one, like Chardonnay, champagne, sorry. Mm-hmm. And it takes us 2.5 years till this wine is ready for the market. But it's quite nice to work together with somebody else. So to sit together, to work on this project, to do the tasting, to think what we're going to do, how long will we store it on the yeast, and when are we going to sell it. And we started this in 2017. The production is strictly limited to maximum of 1,000 bottles. And every year we are sold out till the next one is ready. So the feedback is very good, and people really seems to enjoy this sparkling wine from Carinthia.
Sounds great, yeah, and good to have some partner who's sharing the risks and not only material, but how it will be produced. Okay, and about the red wines.
Red wines are not really expected in Carinthia because according to statistics, we have 80% white wine and just 20% red wines. Mm-hmm. Now, myself, I have 3 different varieties of red grapes in the vineyards, and I produce 2 red wines. One is a 100% Pinot Noir, and the other one is the cuvée of 2 typical Austrian grape varieties. And with this cuvée, was there a funny story because we attended a tasting where it was said light red wines, which means up to 13.5% alcohol. For Germany, South Tyrol, so Alto Adige, and Austria. And we didn't expect anything because nobody expects anything from Austrian wine. But finally, we beat all the Germans, all the other Austrian winemakers, and we made 2nd place in this tasting. And there have been a lot of really well-known winemakers involved. So that was one of the moments I was really proud and thought all those guys who told me I'm crazy. It could be that I'm crazy, but I really like it.
It's great to hear, but crazy sometimes means creative, and unique. So it's not that much, negative, but sometimes very positive to do. And
Yeah,
to
it
show-
depends on the amount of craziness.
Exactly. And Pinot Noir, I by the way more remember the Pinot Noir was quite unique. I'm start to be the big fan of Pinot Noir when my friend influenced me. So I think yours is great, and I think Pinot Noir also extremely depend on the soil, right? Or where it's growing.
Also the climates. I really like Pinot Noir myself, and I think every winemaker has to love this wine to grow it in the vineyards, because it takes a lot of work effort. But I like those Pinot Noirs from a cool climate. So I think Germany has great Pinot Noirs, also Alto Adige and Carinthia as well, because they are not just big and bulky red wines. I mean, they're really like delicate and a lot of fruit involved. They're easy to drink even in summer if you serve them chilled around 16 degrees. And I really like them also now. Autumn is coming with mushroom food, so they are really great with that. And it's one of my favorite varieties of red wines.
Yeah, good to hear and good hint to try it with mushrooms. Actually, now it's the season, I think, starting. But you told me that you have a lot of rains, and we have here in Slovakia, in Bratislava, we have more heat, and now only rain start like yesterday, first time.
Yeah, we had this year, especially in June and July, simply too much rain. The August and September was really fine. So we have today, it was said it's a rainy day, but not yet. And it will be sunny again the next weeks, which is very important for us, because it seems that we are going to start with harvest this year in about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the weather now. And of course, it's very good for the ripening of the grapes if it's dry and still warm during the day, but already cold in the night.
And to my curiosity, by the way, will you plan someday to do some kind of ice wine? Because I think Carinthia should have advantage having lower temperatures earlier than, I don't know, Burgenland. Did you think about it?
One point is true. So the temperatures here are colder, but we are missing the wind. The colleagues in Burgenland have, and this wind is drying away the humidity, and that's necessary that the grapes do not start to mold. So that's the problem in Carinthia. I had a few colleagues who tried to do this, but they all lost the grapes due to the too high humidity. So it's not possible. We nearly have no wind here. And therefore, if it's humid, it stays in the area. And that's not good at all if you try to make ice wine.
So you're missing one of the elements, it's wind, but you have more of others.
Absolutely.
Earthy, I would say, right? One of your key is earth from the elements perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think those who want to try, they know where to go. We welcome everybody who's interested in our wines.